Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Kirby Fair Show, joined by Sam Ald. We will correct his Instagram username. He recently let me know after all of this time that I have not been crediting him correctly. And, that was a real step in the right direction in our relationship. Hashtag honesty.
Yeah, I just, sometimes when you're in the flow of podcasting, you don't want to stop that flow. And, you're just so excited to say, include an underscore in it. So I'm like, what can I say?
Could have sworn there was an underscore in it. I was very confident.
Twitter does, but
obviously so confident that I kept it up for multiple weeks. What a shame. That's on me. You can follow Sam at Ald Sam.
Yep, that's right.
No underscore. We'll put that across the screen, very large. Yeah, it's been a crazy week. Back home in Baton Rouge. This used to be my childhood bedroom, and then it got painted. That happens.
Yeah.
What am I?
Bedroom is being used for storage right now, so.
Yeah, I'm 6 years out of living here. It hurt definitely to come back and it looks completely different. But that's life. That's growth. We're all growing these days. If you're not growing, you're dead. Yeah. Ain't that right?
That's right.
Amen.
Keep moving, keep growing.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving because Caitlin Clark didn't make the Olympic team. They announced who would be on the team. And man, did that break the internet once again. Caitlin Clark just keeps doing it, baby.
Every time there's news, Twitter's on fire.
Every single week, Caitlin Clark is here to be discussed. And honestly, bless her heart. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I think if you count the number of times it is said on this show, if I had $1 for every single time, we would
be rich.
Probably be having a nice vacation right now at the beach with Mai Tais. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Put it on a t-shirt. Mai Tais, sponsored by Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark did not make it, but we got some notable names, of course. It's going to feature Diana Taurasi, legend. It's going to be her 6th Olympic appearance. First time for Kalia Copper, Sabrina Ionescu on the New York Liberty, and Alyssa Thomas, who is on the Connecticut Sun. Dog. Also, Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young, both on the Las Vegas Aces. This will be their first appearance on the 12-player Olympic roster. They previously won the 1 gold in the 3-on-3, which now Cameron Brink is on, along with
Cameron Brink.
What's that girl's name?
Haley Van Lith.
Haley Van, where were you in the last month of the LSU season? So that was honestly a bit of a shock for me that Haley Van Lith made the Olympic team. But, she'll love Paris. That's a great experience for her. Shocking. Caitlin Clark could have made that team. But they said going in, right, because the time between the end of March Madness and the start of the WNBA preseason is like 2 weeks. She had missed all of camp, all of the Olympic camp that everyone who made the team had the privilege of going to. And so they're like, you know what, Caitlin, we'll just, your little audition will be the first couple of weeks of your WNBA season. And let's be honest, guys, it hasn't been up to the performance of those people who made the team.
Yeah, I think it's hard to go from like playing in March Madness to playing in the national championship to getting drafted and then playing in the WNBA like 3 weeks later. And then now you're asking to play in the Olympics too. Like, just get her a break, she can go sip some Mai Tais, just a week off.
She's do some 21. Good.
Surely she is, right? She was in college for 4 years.
She must be feeling 22, number 22.
She is 22, and she was born on January 22nd. Whoa. No. Yeah. And she wears 22. Whoa.
What is that? That's some like Inception shit. She probably thought through
her golden birthday.
She thought through this before we did, obviously. Was she born in 2002?
She was.
No! And I think I'm special for being born 6'3", with all those threes in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, can't knock it till you try it, but hers is definitely makes a little bit more sense. But 22 in Paris will not be featured, at least by Caitlin Clark on it. It seems
Yeah.
like everyone's been the big hoo-ha. You can't say anything different. Has been the committee has made the horrible decision to not put Caitlin Clark on the team because everyone's been saying, all the women has been saying, we want to grow the game. We want special deals and money and whatever. And that this is the worst marketing decision that for women's basketball ever because no one's going to watch the game. I'm sorry.
It's just not true. People are going to watch.
People are so going to watch. You're going to have your...
It's the Olympics.
You're at least going to have your hate watchers.
Yep.
You're going to have the people who we're going to watch anyways. And you're going to have the people who started watching the WNBA for Caitlin Clark that found out that the WNBA play is fucking awesome. And they're going to be like, oh, these girls on the best team, there's like 5 from the Aces and like 2 from the Connecticut Sun. Obviously Sabrina, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi. Those are the best in the game. Those are MVPs. Yeah. All rookie of the year, like 5 rookie of the years. Like it's like they went for age and they went for experience. And Caitlin Clark didn't check those boxes.
And you know what they're gonna dodge now too is all of the huge outcries when Caitlin's on the bench for most of the game because you have all these other studs. Like you just dodge that because people just love using Caitlin Clark in their online outbursts.
Yeah, and that's been loud. And it's really just been, and here's why I love you, Sam. Even though you're there with a shaved bald head, living in North Carolina, you understand that women can play sports and they're good at it. And it's not just all about money. The men in the argument it has just all been about marketing. And the women who have been arguing against Stephen A. all week long have just been like, yeah, no, they want the best of the best to be on the team. And Caitlin Clark, despite how popular she is, isn't the best of the best right now.
Yeah. Let her adjust, Olympics are every 4 years. I'm sure the next team she'll be there,
Yeah, and she'll be in the World Cup, which no one watches, but maybe they will because Caitlin Clark will definitely be on the team. But like you were saying, this is a great break for Caitlin. I think she's going to come back. What did they say? Her coach, I'm tired of coaches because coaches will rat a girl out immediately. They'll say like, in all those like post-game interviews, like Gino would say, just say like, yeah, Paige Beckers sucked. Her play, unacceptable. And then we have Christy Sides or whatever her name is, the coach for the Fever, is like, they interviewed Caitlin right before and she's like, yeah, like, it's okay, it happens, like, blah, 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 it's true. And then Christy Sides comes out and is like, you know what Caitlin told me? They brought the dog out in her. It's like Caitlin just said, contrary to that it didn't affect her. Yeah. Coaches got to stop. They got to stop ratting people out and putting people down. Maybe it's in just the press.
Generation gap, probably. They weren't born in the social media age like these up and comers. So, speaking of social media and Caitlin Clark, we've alluded to it. Yeah, we've alluded to it. People love using Caitlin Clark in their arguments, and up until this point, Caitlin's pretty much stayed out of it. We haven't heard much from her at all in any of these online discussions, to the point that we have other players commenting on it, like Dijonai Carrington asking, how can you not be bothered by your name, your face being used for racism and misogyny and bigotry. Just not say anything about it? Yeah, like you have a platform now. You had a platform in college too. And it got to the point where, Caitlin was asked about, what does she think that people are using her to further all these arguments, and
focus straight on basketball. Definitely respect that. But just to ask you directly, when people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever.
Yeah.
What is your response to that specifically?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women on our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is a league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. So just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think is just a basic human thing that everybody should do.
Yeah.
Look at her taking the side of the Libbies. We
She
can't
said,
have it, CC. Midwestern girls can't be taking the side of the blue dims, saying, "Oh man, you're right. I don't want to be associated with bigotry, hatred, misogyny,
racism.
But Dijonai Carrington, I want to get back to her because
Yeah.
that girl, fire,
Yeah.
unbelievable. She has Caitlin, and I think she's the perfect person to say this because she has Caitlin Clark's number. She plays for the Connecticut Sun, which was undefeated until they played the Liberty, and I think now they're like 10-1. And they played the Fever like 3 times. And if anyone in the WNBA hates Caitlin Clark, it is Dijonai Carrington. And
my gosh.
is so obvious about it and is outspoken, and it's amazing.
Do you remember when we were watching the tip-off night and it was the Sun and the Fever and we're like, man, Dijonai's going crazy defending Caitlin. Like, we were on this a month ago and it's just picked up.
She stays on her like white on rice. Like, she is her number one. Like, it's like you play that team. Our team back in the day was Mandeville. Hated Mandeville girls. I still hate the city of Mandeville, because I have major associations with cities because of the fucking girls that they produced on those soccer teams. And we all had our player. My girl looked exactly like me, and I was nudging her, pinching her, slide tackling her. She would like jump me in the chest all the time.
Gosh.
Yeah, no, we were enemies. And Caitlin Clark, I don't think, this is the real thing, I don't think Caitlin Clark sees her as an enemy. But Dijonai Carrington's like, I'm going to show you, bitch. I'm going to show you
she's like,
what it's
I'm
like to
be
play in the WNBA.
Here. This is great.
Angel Reese is like, you got it. You got it. I'm not the person to defend Caitlin Clark. That's not my position. So you got it, and you're going to make a goddamn fool out of her. And to me, she stood out because of it. I am impressed by her play. Because she'll like swat it out of her hand, get a steal, stop at the 3-point line and shoot it just like Caitlin would and be like, but Caitlin too comes back and is like, she hits 1-3 and she's like, what about it? To Dijonai.
And you know what this just proves? Like, if you're not watching the W, like, you are missing out on all of this.
Yes, there was this great clip of Caitlin Clark. She fouled her. Dijonai Carrington fouled Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
It was a nudge. And like I said last time, Caitlin Clark, that's what everyone's, first of all, is saying. She needs to use this break to beef up. That girl is skinny as shit. And I was like, am I the only one that noticed that? Apparently not. Because she just goes flying off of this foul. And Dijonai turns around to the ref, is like fake, like flopping, showing, trying to embarrass her. And Caitlin Clark, they lost that game pretty bad. But I'll tell you what, they're on their way back. They played the... Did I tell you? I might have told you to go to the game one. They were playing the Atlanta Dream, which is a bad team. They're not as bad as the Washington Mystics, who haven't won a game.
Oh, they're beating the Sky right now.
But I was really... I was impressed that the Fever now seem to be in a place where they can beat the bad teams. And that's huge.
Yeah, that's improvement.
That is improvement. You can't lose to the Mystics. You just can't do it. They're a good enough team. They did lose like a 22-point lead or something in the third quarter. Like, they didn't score at all, and that was a little bit of a bummer.
Just look at the score at the end of the game,
exactly.
though, you know?
They held on. That was the thing. They came together as a team. They said, you know what, guys? we're not going to lose this one. And they didn't. And I was very impressed by that. Caitlin Clark had like 5 points, 7 points, but she was a dish and deity. She was fine. It was fine. She was getting her teammates into the spot. She was playing her role. And I love her for that.
Yeah.
But also she was a little quiet. Caroline came up to me, and then again, this is really the reach of women's sports. When she'll hate me when I say this. Like, we were watching she just started this job, and her law internship on Monday. And on Sunday, I was editing the podcast till like 3:30. And I was like, you know what? I just want to watch some WNBA right now. The Liberty were on. I'm sitting there trying to take a nap, but you know, I'm in a grind set again, as Caroline says, these past few weeks. So I can't really nap.
Yeah.
And we're watching the Liberty, and she's like, I thought you wanted to. I can't. Caroline, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make that voice. She's like, do you not want to watch? We just got into Dairy Girls. She's like, do you not want to watch Dairy Girls? And I was like, no, I want to watch this game right now. And then I hear her on Monday. They're talking about what they did on the weekend. Caroline goes, yeah, we watched the Liberty game. Because all of them were saying, yeah, we watched the Lynx. We were doing this. We were doing that. And Caroline's like, then I'm like, did I just hear you correctly? And she's like, you can't gatekeep women's sports.
Exactly.
And I was like, you're so right. Thank you for calling me out. Queen. But what was the whole point? It had a point.
Just that the reach of the W
it's going to
spreading.
Caroline. Yes. But she was like, you know, on Twitter, people are really mad at Caitlin Clark for not saying anything. I'm like, if she doesn't want to say anything, she doesn't need to say anything. I'm on that team of like, if she's never said anything, it's not her personality. You know, she rarely speaks about anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have an opinion on it. It's just, I guess it speaks when people have a platform and don't really use it. So I guess that's why some people are upset in that regard. But, you know, it's an adjustment period too. Like, now she has even more eyeballs on her in the W.
Exactly. So. But we've been pussyfooting around this whole like bigotry and race and Caitlin Clark as like the new white supremacist, like it girl for a while now. So what is she going to say? Like, you know, I've been critically thinking, and I'm pretty pissed off of people using me as an argument to say that white people are better than black people and all those other people.
Yeah, there's that aspect too. Like, just putting yourself in her shoes, like, at least personally, I wouldn't like being an icon for racism and bigotry, so it's kind of confusing to not speak against that.
And I'm sure that girl literally hasn't had a chance to even think about like what shoes she's gonna wear or anything like that. Like, she goes to practice, if they even have practice, because the Fever played so much.
Yeah.
She ends, they lose, so she's probably just only thinking about that and how to get better.
Back to the grind. Yeah.
She has a boyfriend, and that's mental energy. Hopefully, no, I'm not going to say that.
An Iowa guy too. Ugh.
Oh, I know. Bless his heart. You know, she's going to do a lot of travel. She's in the big city of Indianapolis, you know. I hear it's a love city. It's like Las Vegas for Midwesterners. The city of love.
I don't know if I agree, but yeah.
The city of... That's not Talladega Nights. It's the Indiana 500. That has nothing to do with love, nor Caitlin Clark.
No.
But I'll say this. The last thing before we take a break. Mark it down right now. Tyrese Halliburton marrying a WNBA player. He goes to every single Fever game. I'm not kidding. Like, he is there every single time it's in town. And, like, the Fever are okay. But the man highly supports women's sports.
Let's go. You know?
I think he's going to meet someone in the tunnel. Not in a creepy way. But, you know, he's going to be like, hey, baby. And
they're going to be going for a ball that's going out of bounds and knock it in and then fall on his lap because he's got the courtside seats. And they'll be like, good playing out there. Good hustle.
And there's like a secret Diana Taurasi. Who was that? No, couldn't have been Brittany Griner because she's way too tall. Secret Diana Taurasi kiss.
Oh, yeah.
Who did she smooch? Was it Candace? It was so funny. But yeah, he'll steal a smooch. But I'll write it down right now. He is interested in those W girls, and you can't blame him. I love those like all those memes of like, oh, she's 6'2". Do you have a problem? And it's like those guys on the telephone poles like hiking themselves up, and it's like she's 6'7", and they just keep getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
It really goes to show that the average male is not 6 foot.
It's true. 5'10" and proud over here.
That's right, Sam. You tower. It's a vibe.
I don't know if
It's a vibe.
I
You know,
guess,
as long as
yeah.
you carry yourself
Live it.
well, it doesn't matter how tall you are.
It's true.
And we'll leave you with those wise words as we take this beautiful break. On to the next with Kirby and Sam. All right, Sam, go ahead.
And we're
Your
back.
spot?
Yep, back to the new spot. The boys.
Boys.
We like women, but we still got to give a few minutes to the boys. And there's been a few storylines for the boys since we last spoke.
This
I think
is
the
most horrendous.
The most important, the most appalling, the most galling. I saw it. My heart sank in my chest because Joey Chesnut has been banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Is that the 4th of July?
That is on the 4th of July. He's like the Tom Brady of hot dog eating competitions.
Let's pull
He's
up
on
his
this
numbers.
He's on an insane streak and has so many championships, but he's been banned because he is now being sponsored by Impossible Meats, which is the plant-based meat product provider. And I was texting Kirby about it, like, this is insane. Like, dude just wants to eat some plant-based hot dogs and you're banning him?
He is the 16-time champion of the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest.
You're banning him?
A high score of 75.
In like, what's the time limit? It's like 10 or 15 minutes.
If a man, for reasons I will not disclose, I was on a thesaurus today, looking up horrible, terrible, angry, disturbed, doomed, dreadful. And all of those really fits right now.
Yeah.
The thesaurus for bad things are happening, nailing this right now. Joey Chesnut is a legend, and he is being held down because he supports plants? I'm sorry.
Dude wants to get his cholesterol in check, but he still wants to represent, his country and the game, and you're banning him. But don't fear, because now, after this news broke, it was announced that Netflix, who's getting into the live sports game, they announced that Joey and also a retired professional eater, Kobayashi, they are going to have a hot dog eating competition on Labor Day instead, live streamed on Netflix. I was looking into it. Apparently this is like a 15-year rivalry between Joey and Kobayashi. And I think I was telling you about this, but Kobayashi was the one who recently retired, and he said, I'm not hungry anymore. But then Netflix dangled, that chance to get back at Joey.
What an icon.
And he wrote in all caps on Instagram, stay hungry. So the hunger's back. He's ready.
That sounds like how Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. Yeah. I'm not hungry anymore.
I'm not hungry for it anymore, man.
No. I mean, Labor Day, it's officially America's real birthday.
Labor Day is for the hot dogs.
Yeah, Labor Days are for the ones that get after it, if you know what I mean.
You
Well,
know,
let's be honest. I'm sorry, Impossible. I know you guys are leaders in this buzzing.
the Amber Alert.
Mount Rose. They're the leaders in this alternative plant-based meat, and they're
Yep.
getting there. I'll give it to them. They're getting there.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. It is gonna be harder to get down some veggie dogs. I mean, like it is not making it easier. He's only embracing. He's saying, "Look, I can eat vegetarian and still beat you. How about that?"
Exactly.
As this chalky shit is running down my throat because I'm a dog. I am the dog.
I don't even know.
I'm a 16-time champion. That dude. He's the dude
He's
of
the
dogs.
dog eating dogs. Exactly. And I don't even know if like his sponsorship by Impossible Meats means that he's sworn off meat hot dogs. Like,
That'd be
just
a
let the dude
crazy
eat his hot
thing to
dogs.
have
He
in the-
obviously loves it.
That'd be a crazy thing to have in the contract. That sounds like you didn't read it, because that's going to sorely
by the way,
diminish.
You're out of the hot dogs made of meat. So, yeah.
I mean, bless his heart.
we're all
Joey
rooting for you,
Chesnut will
Joey.
be back.
He'll be back.
We love you.
You know, Major League Eating and Nathan's get it together, figure this out.
Am I
You
the
can
only
still
one
write
that
this
thinks
wrong.
Kobayashi kind of looks and sounds like kielbasa?
You know, I hadn't thought it until you said it. I can see it.
Definitely without my glasses on, that
yeah.
last name looks like kielbasa. He was built for
Okay,
it.
yeah.
And Joey Chesnut was built to have all that big old chestnuts in his mouth. You know, like what is that thing called?
Have you ever...
Chipmunk. Chipmunks eat
Chipmunk.
chestnuts.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're all rooting for you, Joey. Looking
Have you
forward
ever
to it.
participated? Is that what you're going to ask me?
I was gonna say, have you ever seen them eat the hot dogs in the competition? Because it
Oh
is
yeah,
like
they go guzzle, 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 dip the bun
they like
in
dunk
water,
it in water.
and
It's like kind of disgusting,
Throw it
but
down
you're
the
like
hatch.
just so like mesmerized, like you're eating them this fast.
it's
Like
disgusting.
it's a sight to behold.
Wet bun does not seem worth it. But
It's like a car crash. Like you can't look away, but you're sickened by it.
So Joey Chestnut will be missing from this year's Nathan Hot Dog Eating Contest. Who else is missing? Sam, you might ask.
Right now, the Big Apple is missing a big star, Aaron Rodgers. You know, he is
my
not
favorite
at the
segment.
mandatory mini camp.
Where in the world is Aaron Rodgers?
Is he? Well, notably last year he was in his darkness retreat, contemplating if he still loved the game, if he wanted to be on the Packers, or if he wanted to be on the Jets. Apparently he was upset that the Packers were like, dude, you're not here. We're going to start moving on with Jordan. And so that's why he went to the Jets. And now he has an unexcused absence from the Jets.
That dude should have known. He only has Wi-Fi in Malibu.
The
can't
Wi-Fi
call him.
did not reach the cave.
Gutentunes, that's his name? Gutentunes?
Gutekunst. Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
It means good
you
art.
think I wouldn't have remembered Gutenkunst?
Gutekunst. It means good art.
Oh, does it
German.
now?
It does.
Never mind. Yeah, Rodgers is of course missing mandatory Jets minicamp. He has to his whatever. In his defense, he has been at all of the non-mandatory training sessions prior to this. But in usual Jets fashion, they completely fumbled this. It's honestly like that one Patriots game, maybe 2022, where the Jets were almost going to win, and then the Patriots like lateraled it and beat them in the last second because the Jets just, can't handle it. But Coach Saleh, he's not going to have a job after this season. If
he's really not.
After week 5, he to the media called it an unexcused absence. He is one of 2 players to miss camp. The other is Hassan Reddick, who is missing camp because he is holding out to get more money, and you got to get that bag. And he also said he has had something Rodgers is missing because he had something that was very important to him. If it's important to him, Sam, it's important to us. Well, ain't that sweet? Have you ever heard of the word mandatory?
Yeah, sorry, boss. I'm not showing up on Monday. I had something important to me. So that better be important to you.
What could be actually like that? And he also made it, Robert Saleh also made it sound like he does not know where Aaron Rodgers is. He has no clue where that man is.
Yeah.
I love him. I hate him and I love him.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's very good for content. You know, as a Packers fan, you know, I love all the years before about 2020 and when we drafted Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers got weird and like
it lost his mind,
kind of a diva, and I'm like, okay, I can respect the play, but the man is crazy. It turns out, and I did not know this. The Jets are on damage control. I think you're right. Like Robert Saleh, his job depends on Rodgers' Achilles staying intact this season, and then also a good showing. I feel like you probably have to make the playoffs if you're the Jets if you want to keep your job.
Oh yeah, and Robert Saleh still isn't going to keep his job. The dude is crazy bad. How do you like fumble that? So it's like just stop talking. It's like,
yeah,
you know how you'll hear lawyers say like, or in interviews they're like, just answer the question. Don't say anything else. Be comfortable with silence. Just don't say anything else that wasn't asked. You know, he's an expert. Mr. Manny doesn't have a job. Bill Belichick. Somehow, he doesn't have a job. And Big Mouth Saleh.
We're on it next week.
They were like, okay, ask me. I'm Bill Belichick. Ask me. Yeah, so who's out this week?
Hey, Coach Belichick. Anyone missing from the mandatory minicamps?
What was that?
Is there anyone missing, from these mandatory minicamps?
Yeah.
Who?
Well, our quarterback and Hassan Reddick.
So Aaron Rodgers is gone? Do you know where he is?
Didn't ask. None of my business.
Does this give you concerns about the season?
Who are you to ask if I have concerns about this season?
Immediately.
I'm just gonna turn into a Southern man. Watch out.
I say, how dare you ask
How
me?
dare you ask? This ain't none of your business. It's barely mine. All I care about is if Roger shows up on game day number 1 and we just get a W in that column. We're going to the Super Bowl. I'm Jerry Jones. That's who I am. I'm Jerry Jones.
Now imagining like the most New York looking fan sounding like that'd be like my brain would break. It's like that's not New York at all. You should be down in Georgia, Charleston.
We just need yes or no questions from you, Robert Saleh. Just yes or no questions until
Roger's
the end.
here? Nope. You know why?
Nope.
You concerned?
Nope.
All right.
Sounds good. Any other questions? Nope. All right. We'll call it. Who's that one? The Lakers GM doesn't even do press to ask about.
Rob Pelinka.
Yeah. Also, JJ Redick got basically called a bitch in national media. Someone's like second lady. But usually the second lady has the most power, so let's think of something else there. But Dan Hurley, who won 2 back-to-back championships with the UConn team up there, said, Lakers, you guys are offensive and clearly a bad organization, and even though you publicly pursued me for 3 days, no, I'm not going to take your job. Throwing $70 million at me, making me the 6th highest paid coach. Hell no. I'm going back to
Los
UConn.
Angeles Lakers, you should feel bad because you made Andrea Hurley cry for asking if Dan wanted the job because their life is so perfect in UConn, and the man is also about to get paid by UConn. So,
if a man
congrats to him.
Yeah, I'll take less money. That means he hates you.
He's like, I do not want to coach the Lakers. I do not want to be involved with the LeBron and Bronny drama that's coming. And then what happens after LeBron leaves, like the Lakers,
And also,
it's not a bright future, it seems like.
it is not 6 years. That's pretty locked in. And also, they've fired like 3 coaches in the past like 4 years.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
Yeah.
No one wants that for them because he's gonna move all the way across to LA and then get fired.
Dude,
and then be like, well,
he's like the most East Coast Big East guy there is. Like, everyone's saying like, oh, he's just waiting for the Knicks job to open up, or like,
I've heard that. Yeah,
I've heard it say like, Celtics, and we'll get to the Celtics. Like, if the Celtics job were to open up for whatever reason, like, I feel like he's a shoe-in for that one too. Like,
and
he's just this East Coast,
Maybe at most I could see him
let's
down
talk
in
about
Miami.
the Celtics.
He's not going to be working for the Celtics anytime soon because Joe Mazzulla is getting those boys in shape and telling the Mavericks that Texas ain't nothing anymore. It's all
Texas
about
ain't
Boston
nothing.
now.
The Celtics, they're looking good to win the finals. They are 3-0 in the first 3 games. I don't think a team has ever come back from being 0-3 to win.
Never.
And most notably, they survived in Game 3 a 22-2 Dallas scoring run in the fourth quarter. I was texting Kirby. I'm like, was the death of the Mavs exaggerated and too soon? But then Luka fouled out by
4
trying
minutes
to.
left.
He tried to draw a charge, and he got his 6th foul, and immediately he looks at the bench like, challenge it. The roasting almost of Luka after that, it's been a lot because
Slander.
people have been like,
You can't hop on my boy like that.
He's been a traffic cone on defense. He's been a traffic cone.
Whoa.
He's just whining for fouls, And this is
Traffic
like
cone
a
on
week ago. He
defense
was
is
the
so
darling
harsh.
of the NBA.
He was the face of the NBA.
And you know what it was? After they won the Western Conference Finals, Luka, he just wanted to enjoy his beer in the hall, in the locker room,
right?
And yeah, it was either the owner or the GM came and took the beer from him. He looked confused, and they're 0-3 since. So, what can you do?
It's like that one Christmas party I went to when I was an intern, and my mom was there. And let's just say, if you know, Superior margaritas are the strongest the strongest beverage you will ever have. And it was free. I was 20. Was I even 21? No, I was 20. But that's how Louisiana works. And I was getting sloshed. And my mom just takes that cup out of my hand and says, Kirby, I'm going to put this down right here until you're ready for it. And then I went home and I threw up in my childhood bathroom. And that's how you learn. And
That's how you learn.
Lose 3 games afterwards, or 2 games. No, 3. Yeah.
3, yeah.
That sucks.
You rebounded.
It really sucks for Luka. They shouldn't have taken the beer away. Mom, you should have taken my margarita away. I really appreciate that.
Maybe one before that one, too.
It was getting messy and I was at work, You can't be, that's the number one rule the best piece of advice I learned going into the workforce was if you can't find the drunk person at the Christmas party, it's probably you.
It's you.
And you don't want that.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, they're fueling up the duck boats, as they say, because Boston's coming home with it for sure. I won't even be there, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it's gonna be another year for my boy Luka. Who knows what Kyrie is gonna be up to? It's just so draining, the fact that we're done. Finally, we're done with the NBA after 100 games, but now we have to do another 100 games to get right back here, and that sucks. Because are the Mavericks gonna get back? I don't know. They
all depends.
Were tanking last year. And now they're in the finals, so really, who knows? I love Luka.
No,
it seems like Jason Tatum
I think they
is going to
exceeded
win.
their expectations.
They did. Jason Tatum looks like he's going to win a cute boy of the NBA Finals, NBA playoffs. It looks like Jaylen Brown is going to win the MVP of the finals.
MVP.
And that'll be T. And we probably won't talk about that because that's just boy drama, and the media needs to get over it because Jaylen Brown is the better person on that team, and he is he's the highest paid player on that team. So let's just go with it.
Let's give it to him.
What's that song? It's like, don't play with it, don't play with it, don't play with it.
I'm not the person to ask, let's be honest.
All right, Sam, we're going to go watch the game. So thank you all for listening. Thanks for joining in this. Honestly, I was unsure at the beginning, but this turned out to be a banger. So thank you for listening. You can follow us. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at the Kirby Ferris Show, at Kirby Ferris, and why don't you go ahead and spell your name out before I get it wrong again?
At Ald Sam, AULDSAM. No underscores.
Underscore stuff, none of that. And we're on YouTube now, so please subscribe if you're listening. You should probably go back and watch it all over again on YouTube, and make sure to like it as well. Leave a comment. Heck, why not? Tell us how good Sam's mustache is looking right now. Because it is. It looks fire. 5'10". You look 6'5" with that mustache. I'll tell you what.
I'm glad to hear it.
All right, guys, let's go. Let's go. Mavs in 7. Mavs in 7. Let's go.
Mavs in 7.
Goodbye.
See ya.